Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sunday morning. We're going to do a little bit building today. How's everyone doing today? I don't know how many people are hanging out there right now, but what we're going to today's goal is to do part two of the TigTak conversion from an Ender 3 Pro to a belt printer. So the TigTak is a kit from a company called CTC. They have sent out some beta units, and I have one of the beta unit kits. And we're going to take the Ender 3 Pro. And we've already done part of it, and we're going to convert it to a belt printer. So how's everyone out there? Hey, Jerry, how are you? Well, Jerry's actually going to join me in a moment. Actually, let me bring Jerry in while he's there.
Hello.
Hey, Jerry, how's life?
Oh, real good. Hello, everybody. Your countdown timer had no audio.
Okay, I'll look at it later on.
Hello, Ben.
Mr. Brady, how's life? So, as I said, this is going to be part two. Last week, we did the first part of the build. And the first part of the build last week was we took the X and the Y gantry, or the X and Z gantry, and turned it into this on last week's build. And it took time to build it, but there's a lot of different pieces and lots of bolts. But we got it built. So this will become the X gantry and the Y axis at 45 degrees for the belt printer that we're working on. And today, I'll put that on the floor because I'll be getting that later. And today we're going to take, hey, Matt, how are you? Hey, SPC. And today what we're going to do is we're going to take more of this Ender 3 apart. This is what's left of my Ender 3. Lots of cables and the heat bed. And we're actually going to strip down the heat bed because we do not need that going forward. And we're going to start working on mounting the gantry I just showed you to this, first of all. And then after that, we are going to turn around and start working on the belt section. Now, I don't expect to. I expect to assemble the belt section. I don't expect to completely finish it, and the reason why is, I think I have to make some modifications to allow the cabling to come out from the heated bed to be connected to the main board. So I don't think it can take it as it is. One thing before we get started, let's see who's over on Twitch. Let's see, Matt's over there. Jen Bender, thank you for the follow yesterday. There's one thing I do want to do before I continue. I need to find that breakout because I have a good idea of how this goes together, but I want to make sure that I have it in the right orientation. So just give me 1 second and I'll find that.
Ben's wondering if you got that part modded, which I'm going to hold up my hand if you'd like me to.
Not yet. No, they said they're working on it and they haven't finished it yet. But they said they're working on it. Now, I don't mind leaving the parts like sitting elsewhere until I get it done. That's okay with me. I really want to make sure that they do what they said they're going to do. And thank you so much for offering. And I may still come back to you if they don't get to me within a timely manner. I may come back to you on that, Ben. But they haven't done it yet. And what I'm partly thinking, and Jerry's even thinking the same thing, is making the two parts that are there and mounting them and gluing them together and making them permanently attached to each other and leaving it at that.
This is a side right here that's too narrow, and if I cut out most of this where it connects, it'll allow me enough room that once they're glued together, your power supply will fit in there.
Yeah, we need an extra 10 millimeters wide on that. So I'm waiting to see if they can get it done to me in the next week or so. If they don't, then I may reach out to you, Ben, and work with you on getting it modified. Hey, Marlon, good morning. How are you? Just getting back from walking the dog. Cool. So just 1 second. I want to get one thing here. I want to bring up the one drawing that I need, and I forgot to bring it up before we got started, and that's my mistake.
Yeah, I downloaded their clip off YouTube. That way I always have it.
I didn't do that. Yeah, I know.
It's hard to find on Facebook.
It's not that bad. Just if I can get to the where is their group?
The one that blows up, you can pull.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to find right now. And I'm trying to find a video. I will click on groups. It's in their groups. Just give me 1 second, guys. I want to find that. I forgot to pull it out, and I should have had it up, and I didn't do it, and I know. Shame on me for not being ready, but I was being busy all weekend. My son was at my son had swim meets all the weekend, and he only we finished late yesterday. So I will just let me grab that drawing, the exploded video, and maybe when the stream is over, I'll do the smart thing like Jerry did and downloaded the video, but I failed to do it. Just give me a quick.
I can always put it in a Dropbox and send it to you, and you can download it for me if you like.
Yeah, we can do that later. Yeah, okay. But for now, I found the video.
All right. Hello, Wreck-It Ralph.
Good morning, Ralph. Okay, I got the video and I have it paused, so that's where I want to be. All right. So, part 1, bell printer, upper frame, done. The X and the Y axis is ready. Right? Well, the frame of it's done. Today we're going to strip down more of this because this is the last you're going to see of it being an Ender machine, because as of today, there'll be no more Ender left other than the screen, the name on the screen, right? So
you want to make me small so everybody can see.
I was just about to do that. Yep.
Okay.
So we're going to switch things around. There we go. And so what we're going to do is we're going to strip this down a bit more and mount that axis to this, so that area is done, and then we're going to get into the belt area. So build tack, not needed anymore. Now, there's one thing: these bolts are going to be used for the for mounting for leveling the bed. The springs they gave don't fit; they're too small. But I did a test in advance because I was trying to figure stuff out. The ones that are on the bed here actually do fit it, so I'm going to salvage these.
Hello, Anne.
Hey, Anne, how are you?
Anne, sorry.
Anne, yeah. He said he doesn't mind you calling him man. He said it's okay.
All right.
Yeah, we were talking to him last week, if you remember.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's go. Let's take all these off. We'll salvage and reuse these springs. These leveling nuts are spare. They will not be used anymore. And 1, 2, 3.
Those silver or yellow?
These are the silver ones, and that's fine because
they'll compress easier. So yeah,
they compress, and there's not going to be much pressure on them.
Good morning,
I
Jeff.
want to save this area because I'm going to have to cut off the wires off this and remove the thermistor carefully, because I'm going to reuse them on the new bed. This bed is not used anymore. And now we're going to turn around and we're going to tackle this area. So let's take off the belt. We don't need this belt anymore. And I need to gain access to the underside. And I need to remove, this is a whole pile of pieces, so bear with me. I need to remove this axis. I do not need the central axis anymore. And maybe I can actually reuse these bolts later on, so I'll hold on to these. I might have a use for those. So how's everyone doing, by the way? Hey, Jeff, good morning. There's 14 people in there watching. Cool. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me while we do this conversion. So the central axis of this printer is not needed any longer. Actually, let me disconnect these motors and end stops because we don't want them falling off when I remove the last piece. Morning from all from BC. Good morning, everybody in BC.
Are you on YouTube and Twitch?
I'm on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook.
Okay.
I haven't been dinged the last time I did multi-stream, so until they do, I'm going to multi-stream. Oh, by the way, thank you. This month, D with 3D sponsored my, actually paid for my StreamYard, which is why we can multi-stream.
Excellent.
So thank you, Tim, very much so. And actually, Mink Customs actually gave me money so I can actually do next month as well, so we can run from month to month.
Very nice.
That was really cool of them. Thank you so much, guys. Now, what else do we need off this? I'll take off the screen for now. We will be reusing it, but not today. So I want to free up space here. And we will be getting back to these parts later. And I don't care where these go because I have a whole pile of those. So
Ben says the video on YouTube is a lot more stable than Twitch.
Oh, then it must be a Twitch issue why the video quality is not great then. That's good to know. So screen will be reused. I'm going to store that back here. This base I'm using now. And I need to carefully remove my thermistor. That's just Captain Tape holding it on. Because I'm going to reuse my thermistor. And the pad for the thermistor, which I'm going to store over here. It's in trash. It's just a bulb thermistor, and I need to be careful with these. I do have more extra thermistors for other ender printers, but I want to save them, and I want to cut off. Where's my level cutters? I need to amputate the connection with the bed. I'm not going to bother desoldering it.
If I remember correctly,
sorry, go ahead, Jerry.
If I remember correctly, the thermistors are 12 or 24 volt, and the heaters are not. The heaters are 12 or one or the other.
Yeah, but I'm going to reuse the bed is designed to run straight off the printer anyway.
Yes.
And I'm going to be reusing the thermistor, so because they're already matched, it should be okay.
Yes.
I will not be using this, so this is now spare parts, but I may need these bolts later on, so I'll come back to that.
The Ender 3 Pro is 24 volt. The non-Pro is 12 volt.
Yeah. So this is the base, and we'll be reusing this now. And what we're going to do is this is my old Y-axis, which we'll not be using anymore. Now I have to pop off these ends. If they'll pop off easily for me, let's find out. They don't always. Let me check one thing. Make sure I have the orientation right way around. I suppose it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter really because they're the same distance, I believe.
Hello, Sergio.
Hey, Sergio. Good morning. Let me see. That's the distance there. Yeah, they're the exact same distance, so orientation doesn't matter.
Okay, Ben, I was thinking the original Ender 3s were 12 volt and the Pros were 24. Okay.
So take off these end caps. I do not need them because I'm going to bolt onto them. Oh, perfect. These are tapped. Okay. So these are going to be bolted on. I'll leave this as is for now. And I'm going to bolt on the upper gantry. Is going to attach over this. So that is what the printer is going to look like. How does that look in camera?
It's nice.
So this is what we're going to end up with. And then on here is where our belt will sit. Now the nice thing is, this is designed for the bolts to be threaded through, and it is tapped on the extrusion, so we're good. So let's flip it over on its face. All these cables everywhere. We'll fix that later. And we're going to bolt this down, and they are well aligned. Cool. So I think these bolts are long enough. They are. So I'm using the black bolts that came with it. They are M5 20s, I believe. Where is my hex wrench? The wrong one. He started out.
Let's just make
the build volume. Okay, the length, the Z is endless. The X axis is 180 millimeters. The Y, I don't know yet. And the reason why I don't know the Y yet is because I need, once I have it assembled and put the X gantry on, I will need to have to measure down from the nozzle to the bed once it's assembled. They have not stated what it will be. And so for now, I'm going to say I don't know until we get to the point where I can actually measure it. Okay, let me get over here, spin this around and do the other side. Are these lined up? No. Why are these not lined up? Okay, I can fix that. 1 second, I may have to loosen these to get these lined up. I thought they were well aligned, but they're not. So I'll have to loosen this down and shift the whole axis downwards. And that's okay. If anyone else is building this, I would recommend you start by putting, now that we figured this out, put these extrusions into the space first and totally strip down the printer. And then once that's done, then attach the upper area. That way then you don't have to do what I'm doing right now, which is to loosen these up again to try and get them to line up with the bolts. I thought I had a flush and it wasn't enough, so. This is why we're doing it live, right? And this might require a bit of force. And I didn't bring in my hammer again. Idiot me. But that's okay.
Wreck-It Ralph said, what's the added BOM cost in addition to the Ender 3?
I don't know. They haven't released the price of the bill of materials. And it's a kit, so you buy it as a complete unit. You 3D print the parts, but you buy the kit to do the assembly. So I don't have the answer for you, Ben. Or Ralph, I'm sorry.
So you'll need an Ender 3, at least 3 rolls of filament, plus whatever the parts cost.
Yes. So let's see if I can tap this up. That won't line up. I'll have to do more loosening than that.
Grab that rubber mallet you bought the other day.
I didn't buy one the other day. I'll make sure I have these loose enough, though, that they actually move easy. Oh, there we go. I just have to loosen it a little bit more.
Yeah, I'd say about 3 rolls of filament.
Roughly, yeah. I would agree with that. As long as you don't get any errors during your printing, and if you do, you may need 4 rolls. Some of the components are large, so they use almost a whole spool. So now I haven't checked any of this for squareness or anything like that. I will go through that process. I just haven't done it yet, but I will. I probably won't do that. There's no point wasting that on. Well, 3 spools of filament because of infill. And there's a lot of large components. So yeah,
I went like 25-30% infill. Then you got the trays down below, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, some parts are large. can just retighten up what I loosened. Again, I'm going to do them hand tight because I have to square everything off yet. And I can't really do it if it's fully assembled or almost fully assembled.
I still got to print the drawer and the part that the drawer goes into.
Oh, I had that done already, yeah.
I should have started that yesterday. It just dawned on me. Didn't have it done yet.
Oh, Sergio, you're now on Twitch? Cool. If you have a Twitch channel, if you type, go onto your channel and do /host, or do host space / Astropreneur, and that will host me on your channel, if you're inclined to do so. So, now I need to do the side brackets assembly. Let's get it over here. Lots more T-nuts to be used. I'm staying in the widescreen for now because there's no point in doing a close-up, because a close-up just gives you this view. You're not seeing what I'm doing, so it's better off to stay back here. Let's see. I need 4 T-nuts on each side. No, 8 T-nuts. 4 on this side, 4 on the inside for both of them. So let's go and get my T-nuts. I'm wondering I think they're just barely enough T-nuts. I may have to go invest in some. I did buy some components because I checked those during the week. I did buy a few components for the belt area, and like bolts and so on, that were not in the kit. And I will explain those in a while when we get to that. Okay.
Yeah, Ben thinks it looks over-engineered with all the extra extrusion.
Yeah, there's. You know, I raised a few concerns myself, but they said they have tested it and it works well. So that's why we're doing it live, to find out what works and what doesn't, right? And we're beta testing it to find out if it does.
105 says hello, Astropreneur.
Hey, Tech, how are you?
Tech
hey,
Daddy 47, hello.
Good morning to everybody, or afternoon, depending on where you're based.
Tech Daddy 47 is wondering if you think the extra frame mod for this belt printer is any better than the CR30, the way it's designed, or any others.
I raised concerns actually about the design, and my main concern was all of this extra extrusion up here, but I don't know if it's going to be that big an issue, really. I'm not sure.
The only thing really different is the 2 top rails, and then it runs to the back or the front versus, it's just designed a little different.
Well, what I told them, like, I questioned this because not fighting. Why are you not fighting? We lost alignment. Okay, let's try it again. There we go. The only thing I was questioning about, I really questioned, like, I was thinking in my head that because of the belt being out here, if initially I said, look, if you take these 2 extrusion pieces, shorten them, and mount them here, or even leaving the same length and mount them on the outside to support this axis here, you could eliminate 3 pieces of extrusion. But a triangle is a triangle is a triangle, and triangles are is one of the strongest forms of a support system. So I think it'll be okay. It's an interesting design. I personally believe that they could have done stuff to make it, to allow the build area to be wider or slightly higher or something, but they didn't, and that's their design, right? There is a couple of other Ender builds out there. There's one, depending on how this one goes, there's one I'm considering maybe trying again.
Tech Daddy thinks it might restrict the Z movement, at least in the height.
No, the Z is the belt, so it won't restrict any belt. But the Y-axis, if you're referring to the Y-axis, I think it does limit the Y-axis height because of all of this being here and so much being built out here. So another concern I did mention to them. But let's see if it works. There is, as I said, there is another kit out there that you have to source the parts yourself, and it is an ender conversion kit. I haven't tried it. I've looked at the kit. It looks like a nice setup. It's a more simpler, and they've actually modded the kit to do even up as far as the CR10 style machines. And they even have the firmware already out there, pre-compiled. Well, compiling firmware for a belt printer. I've done some research, and apparently it's not that hard. There's a few changes you need to make. You have to obviously change your X, Y, and Z steps, and probably you have to change your heights. There's a belt option that you have to enable in Marlin, but it's not super hard. He likes all your Cool. That's good. That looks interesting to me, but it looks like a bit. Yeah, I see your point, and you may be correct.
But let's wait to get it done and see how it works.
Yeah, let's see what comes out of it. Let's see how it prints, right? If we can get it printing. They haven't released any firmware for it yet. I have been chasing them on that, and they haven't done it. So I'll be chasing them some more.
Tech Daddy says yes, they sell other kit on Fabrico.
Okay, I haven't seen that other kit. There's another one called the Ender Bender that's on but a guy called Ike Moore has done a kit for that.
Hello, Bear.
Hey, Bear. This might be a bit awkward to achieve, but I'll try this one. There's not much room in the bottom one here to get the Allen key, the wrench in place. So I may have to cheat a little bit by doing a tilt. Oh, too far. I may have to use my X-Acto knife in here to move this. This will work. Bit awkward, but it'll work because I left the power box or the mainboard box in place. I have to work around it a little bit. So I'm just getting these base attached. I'll flip it over to do the same on the other side as I've done here. And
Ben says with some better designed 3D printed parts, you could still achieve the triangle frame without the extra extrusion.
I'm sure. But we're building the arcade, so. But no, there are other ways of doing stuff. I fully agree with you. It's just that we're testing their kit, so yeah, you'll see how their kit works out. And if there's other, as I said, there are other endless Z conversions for the Ender 3 and Ender 3 Pro, and even for other machines like the CR30, not CR30, the CR10 design. So there are multiple kits out there.
Then he says, or even some aluminum corners brackets from Ziltech. That's kind of how my Hypercube went together. It had inside and outside brackets. Or actually, the outside brackets I added from Lowe's, but the inside they put in an extrusion.
Yeah, you could do that. And that would make it a rigid frame as well, with less plastic to deal with. You'd probably have to drill some of these, but you can make it work. So there are options, plenty of them.
Hello,
Jeff,
3D.
good morning or afternoon, wherever. I'm not sure where you're based, Jeff. I'm sorry. I think you're in the US, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, Ben, there's other parts that you're not seeing. He's got a drawer. He's got the part the drawer goes into. He's got the two bottom plates, one for the power supply, one for the control board, plus all the printer parts. So it
Yeah,
might even go over 3 rolls. But
Indiana. Okay, Jeff.
3D, hello.
So the part that Jerry's referring to, there is a drawer for holding tools that normally, without the power supply being in there, this would go in here. But for now, I'm leaving this on for now. But eventually, like this would actually mount in something similar to that, but it'll be actually on the front. It'll be sticking out here, and then you have a drawer underneath the belt for storing components.
And that alone is a ton of filament.
Yeah, it's a lot of filament goes into that. So flip it over, do the same on the other side. Move all of this out of the way. And we start again. So let me have a quick look at Twitch while you're all there. Jim, thank you for the follow. Thank you so much for the follow, Jim. Much appreciated. Sorry, I'm juggling multiple windows and you can't see them all. So when I try and catch up to see who's following and who's liking and subscribing and so on.
Yeah, I can't see everything Liam sees.
So yeah, because I have to watch Twitch as well. So it's multiple windows to be watched. But anybody who's out there that has followed or liked or subscribed to my channels, thank you so much. It's been very much appreciated.
Gems and Taurus, he says hello. He's a first-time chatter.
Yep. Jem, thank you for joining. Where did you hear about us? I'd like to know where you heard about us. So this is, just so you know, fill everybody up to date who's new. This is an Ender 3 Pro that I had. Or sorry, this is what's left of an Ender 3 Pro that I have. And I'm in the process of converting the Ender 3 Pro into a belt printer. I'm using the TigTak. If you check in the description, you'll see the information in there. In the TigTak kit that gives you everything except the 3D printed parts, which you have to obviously print, and the parts are designed so they can be printed on your Ender 3 or Ender 3 Pro. There are a few mods that they're still working on based on feedback. They are like the power supply for the power supply and so on. The box that they created doesn't fit perfectly into what they want, what they provided. So we fed back that information to them, and they're in the process of redesigning it right now. They'll probably use a very old power supply that doesn't fit anymore. It's a narrower power supply. The new power supply is 115 millimeters wide, whereas what the box they created is only for 100 millimeters wide. And so they are working on that. They have told me they are working on that. I don't know when they're going to get to it, but they said they will.
Gems and Taurus said it was a recommended channel.
Oh, cool. Very good. I'm glad to be recommended channel then.
No, Ben, they don't have a price for the kit yet.
No pricing yet. It's
And Sergio, the games are turned off. This will wind up on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, it's actually on YouTube as we speak. So
Local Maker, MI, hello.
Good morning. Hello from Texas. Well, you know what? It's starting to warm up here. It's windy here today, very windy, and it was forecast to be so. But the wind is warm, and you know how good that feels here in Michigan. I'm based in Michigan, and from the cold weather we've had all winter, that warm wind is so gratefully appreciated. It may be a strong wind, but it's a warm wind, and it makes a hell of a difference, and it clears off all that snow. All that snow is melting, and it's melting fast. So people might complain about it being windy. I won't, because the wind is warm. So I'll be more happy about the warm air than the cold wind, or than the strength of the wind. You know.
Have you considered building a Volron? Tech Daddy wants to know.
I've considered it. I'd like to. Financially, it's a bit hard, but yes, I would love to do a Voron. Um, I have reached out to a few companies who do Voron kits. So far, nothing's come of it, but that might change. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. And if it does, great. If it doesn't, oh well. But I'd like to do a Voron build. I'd love to do a rat rig build. There's a couple of other really large printer beds that I'd like to try. The Voron I'd like because I'd like to the idea of pushing the speed. 1 second, we'll line these up. Yeah. But yeah, I'd love to do it. This week about the CR1030. This week I'm getting very odd artifacts on my prints. Sure, yeah. Well, Jerry had a hangout yesterday. I wasn't on it, but Jerry has a hangout each week. I have one on Wednesday nights, US Eastern time. And you're welcome to come on there and talk about your printer. I also, if you follow me on Twitch, and Jerry actually on Twitch, we do fairly regular. We'll just come on to Twitch and just hang out and chat, and that's a great time to bring up to discuss that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is a hobby for me. Yes.
Tech Daddy said he's building a trident piece by piece. I've never heard of a trident.
A trident? What's that? I haven't seen one of those.
Probably a big printer. He's building a piece by piece.
Cool.
I'm assuming a cube, hypercube or something.
That doesn't fit very well, so let me change that bolt. The threads could be bad on that one.
Then slowly sourcing parts for Voron.
Okay, well, there are Voron kits. If you buy the kit, it's probably cheaper than sourcing the parts yourself.
Trident is Voron.
Oh, it's a version of Voron. Okay. Oh, is that the like the switchwire version?
Lead screws instead of belts. Okay.
Okay. That would be a very beefy machine. I'm guessing because of lead screw, you might have speed limitations on your print because you can only rotate that so fast. So, but it sounds like a really sturdy design, though. I like the idea of it.
The Trident is a Voron 2.4 with only 3 Z-axis motors, Ben says.
Oh, so it's mimicking similar to what the rat rig does, which is 3-point kinematic bed. I have to say, I know more about the rat rig, and that's again because I did with Tim. He did his build live, and I watched every single episode. I'm fascinated with the idea of the rat rig, and Tim's rat rig build was really good. We all learned the good, the bad, and the trials and tribulations of building with the rat rig, but the result was a fantastic printer that he got. So,
yeah, I've got a Hypercube Core XY 445 behind me. Ben helped me on the firmware on it a few years ago.
Oh, so the lead screw is bed movement only. So the lead screw, so it's a.
You froze. Your video just froze. Hello, RCCMC.
Good morning, RC.
Okay, now you're back. Your video froze there for about 15, 20 seconds.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, now you're really choppy looking and waiting for your video to clear up.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, I didn't know. I wasn't looking, so. So we're getting the rest of this, the main frame assembled.
You were looking straight ahead when it happened, so it looked like you were reading chat for a minute. So.
Oh.
When you froze.
Let's call it cop out, right?
Yeah, Ben Brady, it still works great. I just need to put another hot end on it. It's got a
It's your hypercube?
hot end on it. No, a Volcano. Excuse me. It's got a Volcano style hot end on it. Need to put a different hot end on it.
Volcanoes are good for print speed. Melt more material faster.
It's got a big TigTak SKR 1.4 I put in it.
Okay. Ben doesn't like BTT boards.
I know.
Personally, I have no problems with them, but I actually have one in my Inner 5 Plus, and it's running fine. I've got the SKR, the Mini V2.
Best thing about them is they're not that expensive, and if something goes wrong, just buy another one instead of paying an arm and a leg and have something go wrong and then you can't return it.
Why, Jerry? So, this is the upper assembly part done.
No real reason, Ben. Just try something different.
So, this is what it's going to look like. Minus all of these dangly pieces like an octopus hanging out of the printer. And our belt would sit above this.
Very nice.
So, this goes on the floor. We're done with that section. Next part we're going to work on, for now anyway. The next part we're going to work on, let me get rid of these. I don't need these. Yeah, on the floor with you. You'll be going to my spare parts bucket later on. Now, we're going to start in the bed. I'm not going to solder anything today. There's a reason why. I believe, and from looking over the parts, I forgot to do one piece. I can do it later. There's a reason why, is because I think I will have to modify one of these pieces of extrusion to allow for wires to pass out through this, so I can actually heat the bed. So for the bed, you need these two pieces of extrusion. There's two of them. Let me move that over here out of my way. I'll get back to that in a while. We will also need our rollers, which I have parts of them over there. We will need these rods. And the whole pile of plastic parts that we have over here. And now, I did do some checking, and there's a few pieces that will need, that there was no bolts or screws that came with it. So I had to buy some additional M3. These are they're M320s. I had to get some additional M320s, which I thought I left the additional up here, but I didn't. Okay, I can get them in a while. And also, the bolts that came with it would not bolt these components onto these rails that were not long enough.
I'll be right back.
So I had to buy some additional M530s as well. So I got a box of those. Too bad Folgertech is no longer in business. Well, yeah, Folgertech offers a lot of components. Even if their machines were not fantastic, their base units, you could use it to build anything. So, two extrusions. One part of the back has got 4 bolts here and 2 here. And this has got 4 in the front. That's to attach them, to attach these units onto them. So these will go on like this. And these 2 are belt tensioners. So we have a bolt here that will actually go in, said bolt, and pull on the belt and tension the belt, which will be this rod, because there's screw holes in it. And the other end has got cutouts in it, little chamfers cut into the end of the belt, and that will be mounting. And in between each of these, we will then be mounting the what am I thinking about? There's a stepper motor that will be mounted, which we may not get to today, but it will be mounted onto this, and there'll be a motor going up to a flywheel to actually drive a gear, which is, I thought I left it over here. It's over here. This will be belt driven on the outside here, and that will turn our drums for moving our belt. A few other things we need to do. It did come with, actually, let me do a bit of a close-up screen here. So it did come with these screws, or these springs, forgive me, and these springs will not fit on these. They're too small. So they are wasted. They are on excess. But the springs that come with the Ender 3 fit over these nicely. So what we're going to do, yeah, I never had Fogeltech. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these 4 connections, and I had to do a bit of thinking about how this all went together because there's no instructions, remember. The way these work is you have these little brackets, and these will bolt onto these extrusions on the inside, on the bottom and the inside, like so. Where's the others? These will bolt on in here, all right? And these units then are mounted so they slide in here. I'll show you up close. They slide into this. And then between these two, you'll put a spring, and then this will go down in here and bolt in. And the spring creates the upwards motion, the resistance. And this is how we adjust our bed. Which is a fairly simple design, but it works. So we will get this. Put these on. This goes in here. Spring on it. In here. And screw it. Oh, no, wrong way around. Sorry, wrong way around. The reason why I'm saying it's wrong way around is when these are mounted on here, right? Our bed, our heat bed, which we'll get to later, attaches here, and this allows for our bed adjustment. Right? So the heat bed sits on here on 4 points, and then by adjusting this up and down, we can adjust the level, the trim of the bed, and it slides up and down like this. So the springs they gave are not good enough. So remember, if you're doing this, take the springs off your Ender when you take the bed off, and keep them. And even the bolts that are holding the bed on that goes down through the through the large adjusting wheels for the bed leveling, keep those because we'll be using them to attach the bed to here. We may have to cut them short. I may even use shorter bolts if I have them here to hold it on, but they need to be countersunk. But we will have to redo that. So let's get these 4 assembled first. So we're going to do the same setup. So we're going to overhang this with the bolt. So bolt in, spring that fits off the Ender. That's 2 done.
Ben says so. The kit comes with different heated beds.
It came with, my kit came with 2, and so it doesn't use the Ender bed because the Ender bed is too big. And I'll show you the bed in 1 second. Let me get this one put together, and I can show you the bed. So it came with a heat bed, with a heat plate, and a bed that has it's not even solid. There's no wires on the end, so you have to do all of that. But this will attach here, and then mount on these, like so, 4 of them. Actually, yeah, there. 1 here, 1 here. Okay, in those 2 locations, and on each side, and then you'll turn it so the plate where you solder your hotbed on, these pads, where you solder on the wires, come out to side, because I'm thinking I'll have to drill a hole in the side of one of these extrusions to pass the wires out of this out to the outside. Now it did come with a second heat bed, and it was a small one. I can show you. The first version of the kit did come with a small heat bed, but it's too small because it's way smaller than the build plate. If you do a comparison in size, way too small. So this is actually not used. Now, by the time they start shipping kits,
Ben says it looks like an Ender 2 Pro size bed. And you froze again. He'll be right back, everyone.
Did we lose connectivity?
Yeah, you froze again.
I don't know why.
About 15 seconds.
I'm very sorry about that. I've been having intermittent issues with my internet. I don't know what's causing it.
Did you hear me tell you were froze, or you couldn't hear me?
No.
Huh.
Hard.
You froze again. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still here.
Jerry?
Yeah, you're still. I can hear you, but you're still frozen. Now it looks like.
No, I wasn't. I was just standing still.
Yeah. Ben and everybody. It was only him that was freezing, right? I didn't freeze. Did I?
So then I'm having intermittent issues with my. I've seen it been happening when I stream. I'm wondering if my ISP, because they did say I use a lot of. I'm a high utilization person because I do a lot of uploads and all this kind of stuff. I'm wondering if they're actually, even though I paid for a business connection, part of me is wondering, are they capping my internet connection on specific media types that I stream?
Okay. Yeah, they said it was just you that was freezing. Wreck-It Ralph said it's too warm in Michigan. That's the reason for it.
Yeah, right. Subsector, hey, how are you? Yeah, it does. Time for Jerry to entertain. That's why Jerry's here. So these are the M530s that I got, because the reason why I bought these is the ones that they came with the printer doesn't have enough distance to actually.
I've never live streamed before. I'm not sure if I could entertain anybody.
You live stream all the time, Jerry. What size do I need for this? Okay. There we go. So, again, on it, there are 2 here and 2 on this side that need to. Then that's where we bolt these in, because they will end up as being opposites. Actually, let me make sure I have them the right way around.
Take care, Jeff.
Have a great day, Jeff. So we bolt these on. Just get them on loosely first of all. So I actually went out and I bought these bolts. They did not come in the kit because I was checking what was there during the weekend. It didn't work out. They weren't the right size. So I'll make sure these are flush.
Does that extrusion in your left hand have any holes drilled in it where it might have to go a certain direction?
Yes, they are. It is orientated, so the holes are. There's one side there we have the adjust.
You're holding it too high. Drop it down.
I see
it in a little camera. Right?
Yeah, one has extra additional holes. The other side has only got 4. There's one thing I want to check though before I proceed. I want to check in that breakout drawing. About the positioning of the motor for the so the motor goes on the back, which is exactly what I'm aiming at. Okay, so my control motor to drive the belts will be on the rear. No, it'll be on the front. Sorry, that'll be mounted on the front here, and on the rear is where we will have the heater bed goes on the rear with the belt tensioner. So the belt tensioner, which will be this unit, this unit, and these will be on the rear side of it, like so, with this in between them. And then on the front, we will have the part of not there. I'll get it in a second. On the front, we have another setup where this will be mounted in the front, and it will have a stepper motor on this, and it'll be driving a gear to move the belt. So we'll get to that in a while. Or some of it anyway, at least today.
Subsector 3D says, how is the belt system supposed to work with printing the next file? Will it require special G-code to keep printing to the next file?
You have a, there is, you can either use Black Belt Cura, or you can use Idea Maker. And basically the Z is endless, and you can tell it in there to repeat printing the file.
Sergio says, interesting kid. I have made the space. I would build one.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure when they're releasing the kit yet, but they said they're pretty much done with the design. Now, based on our feedback, that might tweak it a little bit. I will be recommending a passage for the wires to be brought outside the kit. I don't know how they're doing it, and we're not going to get to that today anyway. But they do need to build an area where the wires can actually leave where the heated bed is and the thermistor, like the heater and the thermistor, and move to the outside. See, what I replaced it with was the M330s. And if you look really closely here, they just fit. Just the right depth. They don't interfere with the channel really in any way, which is what we want. While everything else they give are M320s, they're not long enough. Not for this function anyway. And I'm going
to. Sergio says I have an MPCC full kit I can build yet for lack of space.
Oh,
can't
nice.
build it.
Yeah, I'm actually hoping to try and start an MPCC this year. Jerry has been my inspiration to consider get out.
I don't know if he's talking about an MPCNC. It just says MPCC. That might be what he's talking about.
I'm guessing he is, but if he's not, I'm sure he'll let us know.
Yeah, and on the release version, of course, extrusion will be black and not chrome, aluminum.
Correct. Yeah, they've already started anodizing some of the kits they're working on right now, and they've already shown us pictures of them being anodized. These were roughly cut. Even some of the screw holes were not properly cleaned up. There's some swarf around the edges and stuff. It needs to be cleaned up. You just need to tackle it. Because it's inside the extrusion, I'm not bothering because everything's going to be bolted into it right now. But yeah, it is. There is a bit of cleanup needed.
Aluminum shapings. I just took a screwdriver and slid it down the channel and knocked it all loose.
Or you could use a countersink bit and a small countersink bit and go in and touch it and clean it out too.
Yeah.
So we'll get the last of these for now. And we'll get this assembled. So how's everyone's day going, by the way, anyway, guys? Let's see. Is everyone having a good day? Yeah, MPCNC. MPCC. I think that's what he means. Hope everyone's having a good Sunday. I would have done this yesterday, but I was busy. My son had swim meets. It was the championships for the schools. So and he swam Friday and qualified.
You froze again. Oh no! What are we gonna do? Audio just clipped back, started to come back. TikTok, TikTok. Subsector 3D, great. Oh, you got a coffee. Okay. Start dancing.
It went down again. I'm sorry, guys. It went down again.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with my internet. I really need to get these. I talked to him about coming out, and they said, "Oh, we can send somebody out, but if you find out it's not our issue, we're going to charge you $150." Like, I have to reboot my internet every single day. It's got to be your issue, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to fully assemble this, and here's the reason why. I need to figure out where the bed mounts on all of this, and I need to. I'll probably have to drill a hole. My guess is because the way this mounts up with the bed,
Tech Daddy has a room in his house that's 15 by 15. He just got opened up to put all his printers in. It's called Daddy's Lab or Dad's Lab.
Nice. So this is going to line up like so. And this is how the bed is going to look. And these are going to be the adjusters for the bed. And the belt will run over this. So the belt will sit right here over these and run. So that's how it's going to be built. And underneath the heat bed, I haven't done the heat bed yet. Actually, let's do that now while we're waiting. I'm going to only attach the heat bed with Captain tape because that's all I need. Before I do that, this is clean. Let me put this down. I'm going to clean this off with IPA, and then we're going to, because it is just plain steel.
Wreck-It Ralph thinks it's your PC locking up, causing the problem.
It's not my PC because I've done other streams in the past with the same machine without issues, and I'm running less on it actually when I'm not doing the game overlays and stuff. So when there's game overlays, I haven't seen that. So, and as I said, each day I have multiple computers here, and I have to restart my internet connection almost daily. So I don't know if it's that. My CPU is running at 16% right now. It's not CPU utilization. So that's done. Let's attach the bed. I'll clean that as well.
Ralph thinks if you were throttled, your video would just your quality would go, and not your
maybe. I don't know what's going on, but it is something weird. I shouldn't have these issues. I haven't had them in the past. They've only been happening recently. So I'm going to mount this so these are going to come out to one side, but this is square, so it doesn't matter how I do it.
Are you hardwired? Is your PC hardwired to internet? And he froze again. He's thinking about it, guys.
So what did you say, Jerry?
I said, are you hardwired or are you wireless on that PC?
Hardwired, always. Everything in my house is hardwired.
Okay, and you just froze right as I said that.
Yeah. Okay, I need to do one thing. I need to measure the size of this. So it's... This is... let's go to 150.
Now Ralph's thinking you might have a bad hard drive. Do a spin drive smart test.
Yeah, I agree. 150. 175, and this is 149. 175 minus 149 divided by 2. 13. So I need to set this to 13 mils to get it in the center of the bed. So let's go to 13 here. 13.0. It's close enough. And I'm going to make sure this is the right distance.
I would solder all that up separately before you mounted it.
I can always take the bed off. It's only 4 bolts.
Okay.
So that's good enough. 13 down from here. Make sure it's the right distance on this side. Yep.
What? Oh, I don't know.
$13. Maybe a little less than 13. And pick this height again here. Okay. So I'm going to hold it on with Captain tape. And then later on, we'll mount a thermistor with Captain tape as well. So, first piece. That'll lock it in place. That's not going anywhere. Second piece, I need to be careful not to cover the heat pads for the bed, the solder pads. And the last strip, and then I will open up any of the bolt holes that I covered with the X-Acto knife in a second. Nice and tidy. Just open up these bolt holes because I will need to be passing bolts through these in a while. If you don't have Captain tape, guys, it's fantastic. Make sure you have some in your house. It doesn't conduct electricity. It's great with heat. So I will be mounting it with these at the, coming out one side so I can run the wires out. I just haven't decided which direction yet, but we'll get to that. Now, let's get on some of these components. First of all, these go into this using these long bolts through the threaded hole in the bar, right? There's a hole in each end. And this is our belt adjuster. And I'm only going to just set up one side, and there's a reason why is because I have to slide the belt over it yet. And that will mount on. Did I put that on wrong? No, I didn't. Okay, I'm going to mount it on this one. Like so. And these are threaded. So that's perfect. I will be doing my extra long bolts again that I had to add on to myself.
Oh, these were the 20s that I went and bought?
They're 30s.
30s? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I think you said 8 of them.
Well, I was guessing 8, but
I bought 10.
You might need more. Sorry, Jerry. Well, I counted 8 because there's 4. There's 2 for each of these. That's 8. But there's 4 for these. There's another, so you might need another 8, maybe even more. Maybe you might need 16 more.
Okay.
I was only going by what I had already seen, and I hadn't examined everything. So,
all right.
Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, but I just bought a box of them because I know I will use them on other projects at some point. Okay. So I'm going to mount it like that, make it easier for me. So my plan is to route the wires outside and run it through this extrusion back to the main board. So I may have to make more than one hole in the extrusion to pass it around, but I think it'll work. If I can bring it out and then channel it into one of these and then put covers over it, the wires will be really tidy. It's got a tin on it. What else is happening, guys?
Chat's not talking.
Oh. Your interaction, guys, helps promote it on Twitch, so The more you interact, the better. Actually, these might be too long. You may not need these. That's okay. That's good. Because I think the shorter ones will actually, because it's countersunk. So I forgot to check that. And maybe if I drop these onto the 20s, it'll be a better fit and it'll be easier to assemble. So let's try.
Oh, the ones they supplied might work?
Sorry? The ones that supplied will probably, yeah, I think they will actually.
Okay. Well, then I'm glad I only bought 10.
Yeah. Yeah, actually it will. So let me get these out because I don't need these now.
Hey, Chris Travis, how are you?
Hey, Chris, how are you? How's life? Well, we've been going over an hour already. Okay. So I'm going to try and keep this to 2 hours, or if I can. We're trying to overload the internet. Well, it looks like you're succeeding.
They're trying not to overload the internet and have you freeze. So
No, that chat doesn't matter. I don't think the chat's not doing. But that's so thoughtful of you. Thank you.
Yeah, that was a joke. They know that.
I know. That's why I said that's so thoughtful of you. Put these back in there because I do not need those actually. We go down to the smaller size.
Yeah, when I decided I wanted to stream a few years ago, I went from like a $60 plan on my internet up to $130 plan, a real high tier. That way I could try to stream better.
Yeah, but I don't have the speeds that you have available in my area.
Yeah, and they say sometime in the next 3 or 4 years I'll have fiber. That'll be awesome.
I'm not holding my breath in my area because I'm kind of out of the outskirts of the city.
Yeah.
There's another company in my area that does fiber, and the problem is they routed the fiber right around me, but never through my sub. So there's no fiber in my area.
Yeah, Ben listed a whole bunch of printers. He's crammed in a little tiny area. He doesn't have enough room.
I got lucky because I have a large basement. Without that, I'd be down to a handful of 1 or 2 printers, maybe not much more. But I have been lucky.
I've been in my house here for about 23 years. I won't be moving.
I'm not here that long. I'm not even in country that long. I moved here 15 years ago. So this one's been awkward. Oh, yep, it's like a Tim stream. I'm dropping stuff. He's sponsoring it, so I might as well act like Tim. I start dropping stuff all over the place. So that's part 1 done, and this is your adjuster to move this in or out to adjust your belt.
Nice.
So the same thing happens on this side with this piece.
Is there any kind of tension or anything? Oh, it screws into it. So when you pull the screw out,
that bolt is your tensioner.
Oh, it pulls the rod.
So as you pull that, it pulls the rod out and creates tension in your belt.
Drop your hands down. There you go.
Forgive me. Yeah, when you pull that out, that slides over and back.
I see. Okay.
It's a bit of a tight fit, so I may actually have to take that apart and loosen it. But I'm more worried about tensioning outwards than inwards, so I don't think it'd be that big a problem. So let's see. No fiber through the residential area. Yeah, I'm the same, and it sucks because I know guys who are living in older cities than me, and they got gig up and down.
I have a gig down, 35 up.
I don't even have close to that. I have.
Which is not actually a gig, depending on when you run a speed test. It's usually 700, 800, 900. It depends. It fluctuates. So
yeah. Well, I'm running. I've only got like 20 up and 150 down.
That's what I used to have. It was like 150 and 15 or something.
For me to go to the speeds that you're talking about, Jerry, it's going to cost me about $300 a month where I live.
And down the road from me, they built some new houses where they put fiber in. So I asked them if there's fiber down the road, when are they going to hit this area? And I guess their plan here in Las Vegas is to try to do the whole valley in 5 years.
Well, that's good.
So we'll see.
I wish to do that in my area. Christy and I are trying to find a place to move. Okay. Yeah, I was renting for a long time, but I when I saw the price of the houses a couple of years ago and it came way down, it was actually cheaper for me to buy a place than it was to continue renting. So I ended up buying a place instead. Yeah, my internet is expensive in my area, and it's not that fast.
And from what I understand, if I had fiber here at my house, I'd be paying less than I am now for not having fiber.
In some areas,
he froze. Oh no, he froze again, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, now he's back. He's not moving yet. We
Jerry?
heard him. Okay, now you're back. And he froze
So
again.
this is the way it'll be put together. There'll be another one here. It'll be mounted on this end, and that will include this.
And you froze again. You got a ding if you can hear me. I didn't see where it came from. Was that Twitch?
Sorry?
You got a ding. Check Twitch to see what notification came in.
No.
I heard
Not
a ding.
even Twitch.
Okay, I heard a ding like if it was a sub or something happened.
There's a part I can't seem to find, and I don't know why. I know I printed everything, and I hope it's not my stupidity that I didn't print a part, but I'm almost sure I did.
Oh,
sorry?
Yeah, you just got another follow.
Okay, I did, but Twitch didn't update for me. It didn't say.
Jim Zantoris, I think it's pronounced.
Oh, cool.
Because I heard the ding, I just didn't see where it posted at.
Yeah, I didn't see anything posted. Hey, Corey. So there's a piece I can't seem to find.
Hello, Corey.
It's a piece that's like one of these, but there's no slider on it. And I do not know where it has gone. But I know I printed it. And one moment, there's only one other place it could possibly be.
Yes, this is a podcast with intermittent video, but we still get the idea. So
I am missing a part. Well, crap. Excuse me.
What do you think you're missing?
I'm missing the piece of this that attaches down here on one end down here that has no slider in it. Just an opening. And I know I printed it. I've seen it. I just can't remember. I can't find it. And I probably put it somewhere. And like the idiot that I am, the special idiot that I am, I don't remember where I put it. It's not here. I normally put the stuff up here because I know I'm going to be using it for the build. All right, we can do other stuff anyway, right? I can continue. So it's fine. So on this area where this slides, this area here, there's nothing driving. Yeah, that part. Yeah, I know I have it printed. That's the one. Yes, that's it, Jerry. So since there is no belt on this end here, or there's no drivers on this, right? There's not moving the belt. The smooth rollers, these two pieces go on here. So the way
thank you for the follow.
Oh, thanks for the follow.
Yeah, he followed me also. Thank you.
Cool. Very good. Yeah, you should follow Jerry. Jerry's does some great stuff. So I have these square nuts. Yes, go on. Make the joke. Off you go. Have fun. So I bought these because they're M3s, and I have M320s. And the idea is these will go onto this on here with bearings in them on each end. Like they've got the orientation right. And on each end, these will go on. And the idea is this will lock them into place so they won't move. but they're not actually doing anything. These are allowed to spin. And the bearings, which I know I have here, I'm keeping the parts right beside me, so I need 2 of these large bearings for this, and they will mount in here on each end. So these, I have to put nuts into these first. I want some square nuts for these.
Do you think those rollers should be glued together or no?
They don't need to be, because all they're doing is spinning. If I find it's a problem later, I can always glue them.
If
But
they're tight enough that they can't come apart, when they're in the frame.
Yeah, there'll be a little gap between them, and they might shift a little bit, but there won't be any real movement in there. Okay. I need the M320s. I have more of these. I can't remember where I put them, but I have more M320s. And what happens is the M320 goes in here, capture it into the nut, and then that comes out through and grabs a hold of that rail. You can see it there. It grabs a hold of the rail, like so. And then these, with the bearings, these bearings are kind of a tight fit, actually. Oh, that's too tight. That's a very tight connection. Let me take these off. Now, I'll get these set up first, and then I'll look at that. I think I may have to add a bit of grease to that to get it to fit.
You have a different file than I have.
Say that again?
Mine are one piece.
Oh, no. Some are one piece. The one with the ribs on the side that grip the belt that are on the driver end are one piece. They're like that. But the ones for the back, they're not. The smooth ones are not.
Maybe I forgot to print those. I'll have to look.
Yeah, there's a smooth version, and there's a... I really wish they actually put these and set the depth on them, because there's no depth set on them, and they're kind of hard to get them into place.
Okay, I guess I didn't print them.
Oh, yeah, you'll need those. There you go, captured. Yeah, these are a bit awkward to put in place. I wish they... It's not fine and it goes bad, which is why I think they could be doing data limitations. You probably lost me again, did you guys? Korea. And there's nothing I can do with it midstream anyway, so. The divider came out. This is all giving me ammunition to go and complain to my cable company and tell them to fix their stuff. Are we? Are we back? Okay. So this bearing is not fitting super well. It's a very tight fit. Unless there's others of different sizes, but they all look the same. I have a couple of sets of bearings here. I'll try each of them. I thought it was 4. They're very, very tight fit, very, very snug. Yeah, it did lock up again, I know. So, that's weird. The bearings that they provide are super, super tight fit. So, it may not be, we may have to investigate on a way to get these on. They may be a little bit too tight to fit over this. I mean, there's no clearance.
Rubber mallet.
You could damage the bearings in it.
Hit it softly. Seriously.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't fit. It's there's no lip on the ends of these. Let me try.
Or if you got a hammer, just very carefully tap it.
Yeah, let me try one thing.
Bearing on the table.
A little drop of oil. Let's see how they fit this side. Again, they're tight on both of them. The bearings are a bit. I don't know if they've built-in tolerances. Again, that's a tight fit as well. I don't think they allow for any tolerances on these, which obviously is an issue. So let's try a little drop of oil. See if that will work.
Lay it on the table and press down with your hand.
No, I'm worried it'll jam on there and it'll never come off.
Oh. Ben's wondering if you know the size of the bearing.
I can tell you it's a 60002Z bearing, and the op in it is the center bore is 14.91, which is I'm guessing it's a 15, and this is a 14.98. I don't think they're going to fit. We may have found an impasse on their design, and that's why we do this. But yeah, there's no tolerances. I don't have a heat. I can heat it with. I'm just worried about the overheating it though. It'll kind of push on a little bit. No, there's a lip. It just won't fit. If I overheat it,
Ryan's Enigma says, "Go get your liquid oxygen out of the kitchen and use that."
I don't have any liquid oxygen in the kitchen.
Liquid nitrogen, excuse me.
I don't have that either. I don't.
Corey says, heat up with a torch.
Well, you could you're talking about freezing the pipe to cause it to compress.
Grind the rod down a bit.
I could 608. Yeah. I could get wet and dry and polish the rod down.
You have any emery cloth?
I don't have any with me, but I can get some. I can buy some. I can go buy some today. Use emery paper and polish the rod down to make it fit better. It fits these fine with a lot of clearance, and that's okay. And when you use these, it's a snug fit, which is what you want on these.
How far does the bearing have to go in?
About that far.
Okay.
Because I need to have this in here on both sides. Where's the other one? I can show you. I can show you one side. This goes on, then these slide on over that with the bearings in them, attached together, like so. With the bearing on the other side, that bearing is already in there. So let me knock it out, like that, and another one on this end, and then there's another joining on here like this to create the belt tension.
Chris Travis has a bearing heater at work. Ben
Chris
Brady
Travis is a long way away from me. I could try heat the bearing, but I'd have to mark the exact position of everything, lay it all out, heat it, push it together, and then like mark here exactly where I need it, let it cool.
Those bearings have plastic inserts?
No, they don't. They're metal. That's the problem.
Okay.
If it was plastic, I could probably sand it down, but these are metal inserts.
No, not the inside. I meant the covering holds the bearings in place.
No, it's all metal.
Metal. Okay, then you could get it warm. Yeah.
Break out the Dremel. Yeah, I'll have to try and sand it down. I can try heat these, like bake them like with a I have a hot gun there actually. You know what? You never guess what I have left over from the build. I have a heat bed. It's got a BuildTak surface on it though. Do I have a different head? I have got a glass heat bed. That might be better. 1 second, guys. I want to get a board to put this stuff on. I have a hot gun here, but I need to measure this up first and mark it. So let me do that. Let me get everything else in place temporarily, and then I will.
Hey, Liam.
Yes, sir.
My bearings slip over my shaft and they grab it. They have to be tapped on, but I can do a press fit and hold them.
Mine won't.
See that?
No, but they need to go way in. No, see, that's
I know. I can tap them on, but I'm saying, and with my hand, I can just line it up, press it a little bit, and it'll stay there, and I just finish tapping it.
Yeah, but no, but it has to go way in. It has to go 2 inches in there, and you'll probably damage it in the process.
Yeah, it's working.
All the way in?
No, I'm not going to take it all the way. I might have to pull them back out.
Yeah, if I can mark them and get this all lined up, which I'm going to do now.
Yeah, they'll press fit, and then you just tap them on. But they'll barely start, line them up straight, and they'll press. And you got to tap them on the rest of the way. You see, look at my glasses, and I'll tell you which bearing I have, if it's the same one or not.
I'm sure they are. I'll get this one. I want to get these lined up so they're centered, and with the belt held in place to line everything.
6002Z.
That's exactly what I have. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm worried about damaging the bearing pushing it on, you know. I need this. If I can get 1 or 2 of these on, and I can figure out where they go, I can mark where it is, I can probably get them pushed together, and I can heat the bearing on the board here with a hot gun, and it might slide over it.
Throw it in your microwave.
No. I agree. Not all bearings are created equally.
Cape Town, hello, Jocko.
Hey, Jocko, how's life? So, the way it goes together is as so. And then this will bolt on. This will slide in here. And I'm going to actually put this on. Let's see. So this is the layout. And I need to put the belt in place to make sure I get the right separation and alignment of these, because it's not perfectly aligned. The belt needs to go on.
Yeah, Jocko, I started streaming over on Twitch primarily.
Cool.
Moved over from YouTube.
So this needs to be okay.
No barking.
Okay, that's roughly where I need them. Do I have a pencil? Let me get a pencil. I need to mark where they're going. You ever notice when you need something you can't find it, and when you don't want it, it's right under your fingertips?
Yep, I lose things all the time that are right in front of me.
Yep. And I brought out my extra M320s as well. So, with this lined up like so, I will need to let me tighten that in so I can mount this in place temporarily. I need to prop this on something so I don't shift it after the fact.
Well, I hope you get it replaced, Jocko. Yeah, on Twitch, I'm Jerry 3DHP. Here, I'll do a shout out to myself so you'll see the link.
Can you shout out yourself? I don't know if you can do that.
Yeah. I think I can.
Okay, so I have a good idea where it needs to be. So it needs to be roughly here. So we take all this off. And remove this, and I should be able to measure in the same distance on both sides. And I have a good idea, and then I can heat the bearings and see how it goes, see if it helps. A little bit more engineering than than the kit should be, but okay. 40 mils on each side, roughly. Okay, that's where the bearing should start. I need to go down beyond that point, but okay. And I'll mark the other side to make sure for the distance, the width. I'm marking both sides where the bearing should start on the outside and the inside, because the inside is where I'll be making my mark. I'll be not moving it too.
There's no price yet, Jocko, on the kit or the belt by itself.
Yeah, no pricing yet. They haven't gone to that point, but we're beta testing it for them. All right, so let's see if I can heat a bearing, and I'll need
gloves.
I will need gloves or something. I have actually an oven mitt that will work perfect for picking it up and getting it lined up. I need my hot gun.
If he burns himself and yells, throw some bits at him, guys.
Come on, Jerry. This is not a Tim. This is not a Tim stream.
I'm afraid. I think you're going to get it so hot that all the grease is going to run out of that bearing and run.
That's what I'm worried about. But I have to heat it up. Maybe if I heat it somewhat, it might work. Or maybe at some point, if this doesn't work, that's fine. But what I can do is I can try putting that in the freezer, the rod in the freezer, putting this in the freezer, and heating this somewhat. And one's going to expand and one's going to contract, and maybe the sides fit together then and they'll lock in properly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll give it a try on a low heat first. So if this is too noisy, guys, let me know. I can always mute my mic, okay?
Okay.
Hey, Brandy.
Hi, Liam. How are you?
Busy.
His rod won't go on his bearing. He's trying to get it pressed together.
God, that ice is huge. I don't know how big it was.
No, it doesn't. But I'm trying to heat it, Ralph, to see if I can. By heating it up, it should expand. It might fit then.
Here's that printer. I can't release the 15th.
It's nice.
Nice looking box with a handle on it. There.
It's just that.
That whole piece. It's a cantilever.
Oh.
Instead of it being square,
Uh-huh.
it's just a single arm with braces, and the arm comes out.
Oh, cool.
Different style.
Cool. But you can't release until then?
Huh?
The 15th?
Yeah.
We can do the video for them.
So let's try. With it warmed up. No, not enough. It won't fit. Even warmed, it won't fit. No, so I'm going to try. I'm going to have to try and freeze these for a couple of hours. I can tap it. The problem is I'm going to break in the bearing, and I have to knock it in a long way into the shaft. Right, it's come in about at least the width of the bearing plus 40 millimeters, right? Because it's 40 millimeters to here. I have to knock it all the way in here. I'm worried that if it's too tight a fit, I might end up damaging the bearing when trying to push it together. So even partly heated, it hasn't made a difference. And I could tap it with a mallet. And ideally, what you'd have to do is get a piece of pipe that slides directly over this. Tap the center bearing so you're not hitting the outside with
or a deep well socket that hopefully would fit it, but
yeah, well, something that actually ideally
would have to grab the inside only so you don't bust it apart.
That's what I mean. So tap put pressure on that.
Yeah.
I don't have any bearings, not of this size. I have other small bearings, like really small ones.
Another option. Do you have a bench vise?
I have a bench vise, but it wouldn't have that depth.
Well, the bench vise overhangs your counter, Then you set the bearing on it, and you just open it up just far enough, like it's a socket, and then you tap the rod down. The bearing
That's a good point.
on
Yeah,
top
that
of
I
the
could do.
vise.
Yeah. Tap, tap, tap. Yeah. So I think I might be better off to freeze these. And by freezing them, this will compress. And if I heat that and freeze these, that'll expand a little bit. That'll compress a little bit. They might slide fit, and then I don't want to tap it because it's very tight. I mean, but the moment it gets to the center of that bearing, the moment it gets like even less than a half a millimeter in, it's grabbing, and that's really, really, really snug. Now I could tap it on. I'd have to get something this size, and if anything goes wrong, you probably never get it off again, right?
It's got to be tight though. If it drops on freely, then it doesn't serve a purpose.
No, I agree. That's why I was thinking if I freeze these, and then when it's frozen cold, when it's absolutely freezing cold, like in the freezer for a couple of hours, and I'll do it this afternoon. If I can freeze these, then and heat the bearing itself, then when one's hot, one's cold, this should give a little bit of clearance, so it'll go on. I don't want to use a Dremel on it. You can't grind out the center of the bearing because the center of the bearing spins. How are you going to grind something that rotates? The moment you put a grinder in it, all it'll do is spin around. So you can't do that.
This is an example. This isn't my bench vise in the garage. This is a small.
I know what you're meaning, though.
Just have it wide enough that it grabs the inner race of the bearing, and then you can tap, tap, tap like that.
Well, I know what you mean, but I would have to. It's so tight. I'm worried that it'll be too much. So I'll come back to this part, right? I'll leave this for now. I will have to come back to that separately. I don't like leaving it hanging like that, but I don't have a choice. I'm going to freeze it, and next week in part 3, I will actually show you. If it worked, I'll show it assembled. If not, I'll try and find alternative bearings or something. But I could don't grind hard and seal, designed to be press fit. Yeah, I agree. So that's why I'm going to freeze this. And by freezing it, it should shrink a little bit into the freezer, and then heat the bearings, and one should fit over the other. And then when they cool down, when one cools down and the other heats up, they should lock into place. So I'm going to be careful about it. I do not want to damage the bearings. So let's put these aside for now because I'm going to work on something. I'm going to do one more piece and we'll finish up for today. The next piece I'm going to do that I should have done at the beginning and I stopped. I should have got it done. As you know,
when you try to do that, film it. So if it goes wrong, you can throw it up on TikTok.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Yeah, I have no problem with that. So I'll come back to this later, and I'll find that other part that I couldn't find earlier. So what I'm going to do as well, since we're here, I'm going to attach the feet to this because we have 4 feet that will attach. Front and back, like so. There's 4 of these. Yeah, well, I'll try the freezer. If that fails, I'll try and get my hands on some dry ice. Well, you wouldn't snap steel. You wouldn't, even with dry ice, you'd never freeze steel enough to break it. There's no way. So I'm going to attach these feet, which is not really great this way. So I'll hang this off the edge of the bed table, and I'll attach these feet to it. Get rid of the oil, and I'll put that stuff in the freezer when I'm done here. I'll bag them and I'll put it in the freezer. So I need to do. Hey Llama, how are you? Freezing probably won't work. Rods in. Yeah, I was thinking I could potentially sand it down a little bit, but not. I'm going to try the freeze and heat combination first. If that fails, I'll revert to sanding if I have to. I'll get some emery paper and I'll sand it down. So these bolts, I want to see which bolts I need for these. Is this the right length?
Ben's already looked up your replacement bearings on Amazon when you screw them up. They're $12 for a 10-pack.
For the same size, okay. These might be too long because I hit the base of the extrusion. Are these long enough? I think we have a bolt issue again. Because these black ones are not long enough, or they're too long to go into the T, and they don't even fit properly. Let me see. These are too long. That's no good. And the ones that come with the kit, the other ones that come with the kit, I do not believe are long enough. So I may have to get bolts again to get this to new bolts to make the feet work. Because what's in the kit does not seem to work. Oh, I got lots of these. My M5s, they're too long. So I may have to buy another set more bolts, maybe M5 15s. Well, the kit is a beta kit, right?
And there's no instructions at all. He's simply looking at a blown up diagram trying to figure it out.
Well, I know how these go on, but the problem is, look at these bolts. They don't fit. They're too short. And these are M5 10s. They're M5 10s. And I'm guessing to go below this, yeah, you need M5 15s. And I have M5 30s and I have M5 20s. They're M3s. These things are way too long. I may have to. These are too small.
Those in the box, guys, he bought that didn't come with part of the kit.
Yeah. Yeah, the ones in the box here, and I have I've also bought some. I have this kit from building the droids, but I bought an additional bag of the M320s that I will need, that I knew I needed. And they're where are they? They're here somewhere. I put them on here in a moment, a while ago. But yeah, there they are. They're M320s, and this additional bag of M320s I know I'll need. But I think it needs M5 15s to attach the legs to here.
Yeah, I have lots of little bolt kits, so I'll have them laying around.
Yeah, so M5 15 because I need 5mm to go below here, and these are not long enough. The ones that came in the kit. So, and I don't see anything in the kit that will make this work. Actually, there's some. These are M5 15s. I don't know where these came from, but these will work. I think these are 15s.
The black ones they supplied will work. You got like a zillion of them. I'm not sure what size they are, but
they're too long. They're 20. They're too long, Jerry.
Okay.
But this is an M5 15. I don't know where I got this from. It probably came off the Ender. So I can show you how it works. I may not have enough bolts to finish it, but I can show you how it works. I'll go down and buy. I can buy them locally. It's not that hard to get them locally. These M5s. I'm not here to build confidence in the kit. I'm here to show how it works. And if it doesn't work, you know what? That's something the company needs to look at. They are missing components. They are missing bolts. So the way these will work is they'll attach here, front and back, and these are the new legs. I only put one M5 15 in there. I had one. I need 8 of them, and I had only one of them.
I think you mentioned that to me a few weeks ago, and I said I had some. I think we already talked about it.
I don't remember talking about the M5 15s. I remember talking about the 30s and the 20s. Okay. I don't remember the 15s, but you could be right. I don't remember it. Let me see if I have anywhere else.
I forget so much. I just guess. So maybe we did, maybe we didn't. I learned how to just like with Enders saying that there's 12 and 24 volt. Well, I haven't used my Enders in a long time nor worked on them, so I forgot.
They're 20s.
So.
Yeah, I don't have any M5 15s. Where else could I get? Could I steal some M515s? I don't have any spare parts there. I don't have any M515s. I don't think. There's nothing left in this kit. No bolts at all in here. There's one, but it's not the right one. Looks like I think M5s on this. I think these are all M3s and M4s. Yeah, they're all M3s and M4s. Let me have a look. These are spare parts I had from other projects I've worked on.
You don't have a bin in your room there with all kinds of extra parts from anything and everything?
I buy stuff as I need them, and if I have the stuff left over, then I keep them together. But yeah, see, I use this company. There's a company nearby me called Fastenal. They have all of these little components, these little stuff.
Cool.
And they're only open on weekdays. So if I pay them a visit tomorrow, they'll have exactly what I need. If I take down this one and say, give me 10 of those, they'll just put out 2 packets and they'll give them to me. They do in boxes or they do individual packets like these small packets. So you have the option of buying in bulk. These ones, I bought a Fastenal, but I bought a box in because I knew I'd use them and I'd need them at some point. But these are a little too long. And these ones are 5 mils. The one that come in the kit are 5 mils too long here.
A hot-end sock might have an odor. I've never noticed one on a sock.
Say that again?
Ryan's Enigma wondering if you put a new sock on hot end, should it have a little bit of an odor when you heat
You
it?
might have first. Sometimes when you first heat silicone, you can get something that gives an odor off it. But it goes away. So guys, if you haven't already done so, I just want to say, please follow the channel. Subscriptions are welcome. If you are an Amazon Prime user, you can subscribe for free because you can link your Amazon Prime account to Twitch, and then you can link that and use that as a subscription, and Amazon pays your subscription to the channel. So consider that if you want. I don't think we can go much further today, but we got most of what we wanted done. I wish I could do those bearings and get them done today, but I will need to. I'm going to try the freeze test with one of them, and then heat the bearing and freeze the rod. And if that works, I have my solution. If it doesn't work, then I will get emery paper tomorrow. I'll go to the store and buy emery paper, and excuse the term, sand the crap out of this thing to get it to fit. Apologies. I don't know anyone who's got a lathe. If I had someone who got a lathe, I could get them to take a little bit off on the rod and the lathe, but I don't have anybody near me that has a lathe that I know of. If there was somebody nearby, that would be the easiest thing. Stick it in a lathe, just skim it, barely skim it, and the whole way across, and it'll be finished.
Ben Brady's got a comment there for you.
Liam, I sent you a video link for another Ender belt kit. Is that the Ender Bender 45 by Ike Moore? Is that the one that he has?
It's a surprise. You'll have to click on it and you'll know. Okay,
well, I'll look at it after this. Where did you send it to me? Did you send it to me on Twitch? I don't see any whispers on Twitch. So how did you send it to me, Ben? Did you send it to me on Facebook possibly? I'm not sure. I don't see it on Twitch. I don't see any messages on Facebook. I don't have a lathe. I know. I would love to have one of those mini desktop lathes. That would be perfect for this, and with a carbon tip. But I don't have a lathe. I would like one though.
His name is Steel Roller 45 on Facebook Messenger.
Okay, I have to look him up. Steel Roller 45. I'll have to look that up. Where did I put my Sharpie? I'll grab it off here in a while. Let me write it down somewhere. I'll check into it later on. So a lathe would be perfect because I could skim it down. But I'll try freezing and heating. Freeze the rod for a couple of hours in the freezer. I'll actually bag them in a few minutes. And next week we'll come back. We'll get the feet on, or I'll get the bearings on offline because it's a pain. It's going to be a pain in the butt to get them to fit, is my assumption. So I'll do them offline because it's going to take a lot of time, and I don't want to have vices and anything down here. I do all that outside. I don't do it inside in the house. And if I can get them together, we're good. If not, I will. I'll sand it down and make it fit. And then next week we'll continue with getting these legs on, getting the belt which I was hoping to do today, assembled, and I will investigate while I have it roughly assembled how everything goes together to make sure I can, if I need to make any mods to the extrusion for the belt, to pass the wires from the belt out of the frame out to the control box, which is on here right now.
Is there enough room to run them down the channel or no?
Well, there isn't, but what I was, because there's screws going into the channel over here. So what I could do is I was thinking, because the belt mounts on both ends, Jerry, there's nowhere for it to come out away from the belt, outside of the belt to get underneath. So what I was going to do is drill a hole here, a large enough hole here, and if I can drill that out and put a TPU, I can 3D print a TPU grommet that slots in there, and by doing so, I can then pass the wires outside, and then outside I can run them in the rails and 3D print rail covers and clip it on, and then run it back into the control board.
Okay,
that was my idea. What do you think?
Maybe.
Oh, you sent it to the messenger account. Okay, thanks, Ben. So that's what I was thinking of doing.
Since the control board is under it in the middle, just run them straight down into the control box.
I can't. The belt is going to be around the belt.
Oh, yeah.
So I have to bring it out and then down and then back in again. So I may have to drill a hole in this through here to take the cable from here out, back in here. So the bed will be sitting on top of this.
Yep.
And the belt will be running right up to the edge, so there's no real space. I might have a little space here, but I'll have to dry fit everything to see how it goes. And if not, I can always bring it out through the extrusion. I just be worried about passing wire so close to the belt because friction from the belt could tear up the wiring.
Yes.
So I'd rather either cut this out, like the depth of the channel, or put a hole and bring it out and back in, and that way then it's away. It's coming off the bed, which is going to be here, straight out the side, through here, and then back in through another hole, and that goes into the control board. That would be a safer path, I think.
Okay.
Let's see what bolts this uses. This uses...
And then double check all the pictures on Discord just in case somebody else might have posted a picture where it shows it.
Yeah, these are not M5s. Are they M3s? I'm just going to test the size of the bore on these. They're M4s. I have some M4s here. So there's no M4s. You will need M4 bolts as well. Actually, did they give me some? Maybe they gave me some. No, they're cap heads. They will not work. They have to be countersunk. I put those where I put my bag of components. I have M4s here to attach the bed. I want to make sure I have M4s. These are M3s. Oh, they're cap heads. They won't work. So you'll need M4s as well, guys. Yeah, these are all M3s. So these, the holes in here, they are M4, and there's no M4s in the kit that I can find. I'll double check. What you need, maybe, no, they're M3s. So you'll need M4s to mount here. Now let me see if the ones up the ender will fit. If these
not sure.
M4s,
Ben's wondering if you're at a stopping point. I'm not sure.
well, I'm about to. I will be. If there's, once I get these out, I want to check one thing because I'm trying to let people know what they need. And these, if these fit, let's get these bolts out of here. Okay, off the original ender. Okay, they're the right size screws. They're too long, but they're the right size screws to attach the bed. And then the reason why I'm saying they're too long is once you screw them in, they will impact this area here. So let me show you in the close-up camera. The screws come in. Let me switch over actually. The screws from the bed are too long, so you need the same length screw, the same type of screws but shorter, or cut these off so you can actually get them all the way through without it impacting this. Because as you see there, it will impact and it won't work. So you'll need M4s, and you'll need maybe 5mm M4s. Really short M4s is all you need. You don't need anything long. Are these? And you need they need to be countersunk, because to go onto the bed top is countersunk. So you need them. You can't use cap heads. They have to be countersunk like this. So M4s. So you'll need M4s, 4 of them, for this, and I will need M5s, 15s to attach the legs. So I think that's all we can do today. We're at a stopping point because there's stuff missing in the kit, and I need this bearing stuff. Will probably need, if the freezing and heating works, great. If not, I may have to find an alternative way of getting the bearing the same size. That will work. M46s, yep, that will work. M46 or 5mm or 6mm or wherever I have. Really short would be perfect. Anybody have any last questions? I'm sorry we're into a stopping point, but it is a beta kit. We're learning as we go. Let me go back to the main screen here. Anybody have any last questions before we wrap up for today? I will be doing part 3 next week, and I should have these bearings done by next week, I'm hoping. And if I can get them assembled, I'll let you know.
When is your hangout, and how often do you go on Twitch live?
I have a hangout every Wednesday at 7 p.m. in the evening, U.S. Eastern Time. I go live. This week has been a bit of an unusual week because I haven't gone live as often as I normally do. But I go live sporadically. Normally at the end of my work day, unless I have something else to do in that evening, I will actually just jump on, go live, and hang out and talk about stuff. And I may even show the update of how this went during the week. So, and I'll reiterate again next Saturday when I do continue on the build. But that's when I go live. It's very sporadic during the week, but Wednesday is guaranteed. I try and do Saturdays, but I couldn't last week, or this weekend, because I had something on with family Friday and Saturday. But next week I'll probably do it on a Saturday. Or do you prefer Sunday? What do you guys think? Do you prefer Sunday morning or do you prefer Saturday morning? Let me know. I would like to do it at a time that works best for you guys. So if you prefer a Sunday, we can do a Sunday.
I think Sunday's better, since I stream for so long on Saturday once your stream's over.
Okay. No, that's fine. No, that's good. No, that's okay. Corey's saying Sunday. Anybody else have an opinion? Ben is saying Sunday. If you would prefer Sunday mornings, we will do Sunday mornings. I will switch over any builds, even if I get live printers. I will even switch my live unboxings to Sundays if you prefer Sunday morning. I have historically done them on Saturday. Now and again, I do them on a Sunday. But you tell me if you have a preference for Sunday. Sunday we can do. I have no problems. Oh, by the way, if you're on YouTube or on Facebook, like the video, thumbs up, please. It does help. It helps promote it. And on those of you on Twitch, please follow. So, okay, Jim, you prefer Sunday streams? Okay, right. This Logos, you are saying Saturday. You like to be the odd one out over on YouTube. So make sure, thumbs up, right, if you're on YouTube. Like, follow the channel on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, follow me on Facebook, Astropreneur. And please thumbs up and share the video. And if you're on Twitch, follow me on Twitch. Follows are free. And subscriptions, if you're an Amazon Prime user, if you have an account on Amazon Prime, you can subscribe for free via Amazon Prime Gaming, which you have as part of your Prime subscription. You don't ever have to use the gaming part, but you can use that to subscribe, to link it to Twitch. And each month you can actually subscribe to a Twitch streamer such as myself. So they're all really
3D printing is Derek in the UK, and he's the one who done the belt printer. I think I forget what printer it was he used. I can't think of the name. It's 300, but I can't think of the name of the printer.
Okay. Oh, all right. He was on your stream, wasn't he?
Yeah. He's been
Yeah,
on.
I remember the printing.
He's been on my group forever on Facebook.
Yeah. See, so Saturday, but most people are saying Sunday, so I think you're going to be outvoted on that one. And I'm fine either one, but either one works for me. It's going to be the same time each day anyway. It's going to be 11 a.m. US Eastern.
Yeah.
Up until around 1, which is we're just gone past 1 now.
Like with anything, depending on life gets in the way, so you have to do what works for you at that particular time. You might say Sunday and then it winds up being Saturday. You just got to do what works at that particular time. So
that's true, but I like to try and keep it somewhat consistent. So if it's Sunday is best for most people, then I would be you get the sign winner bill. That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if it's Sunday works best for most people, then I would probably be leaning towards a Sunday, because you can't appease everybody all the time. We try, but. And now and again, I will be doing some Saturday ones if that's the way the schedule works out. So, guys, I think that's it for us. Thank you for hanging out. Remember, like, subscribe, ding the bell if you're on YouTube just to follow me, or if you're on Facebook, thumbs up as I already said. Share out the video with all your friends, and get over to if you're on Twitch, follow. And if you have an Amazon, so you can subscribe with or without Amazon. But for Amazon, it's free. For an Amazon Prime user, if you're not an Amazon Prime user, you have to pay for subscriptions, but still, it is all appreciated, and everything that you do all comes straight back to the channel. So, thank you again, and thank you to D with Tim for actually covering StreamYard for this year. Thanks, Tim, so much. And Chris Mink is covering it for next month, so we can continue on with Saturday stuff like our Saturday or Sunday stuff like this. And thanks, guys, and I will see you next weekend, and we'll do part 2, but part 3. But on Wednesday we'll be doing a hangout, but. I do regular hangouts on Twitch throughout the week, just coming in, talking about stuff, working on bits and pieces. So hang out with us, have fun. Remember, keep printing, and I will see you next week. Thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
Take care.
Say goodbye, Jerry.
I did. I said goodbye. Take care.
No, you're supposed to say goodbye, Jerry. Come on.
Goodbye, Jerry.
He'll get it done. We'll get there. All right. Sorry, Shane. Yeah, I was just wrapping up. I've been on for the last 2 hours, but I'll be doing it again next weekend. So I'll see you. Maybe you can come in and join us next weekend. All right, guys. I think that's it for us. Have a good one. Take care and see you.